this early in the format, what kind of decks people are bringing and what interesting decks people came up with.
Yeah, and it looks like the players are ready to go with game number 1. AKAWonder on the Druid. Yeah, came Tyrant there, and RDU Priest up is just Dragon Priest from RDU. So not the Dragon big spell version, but just dragons.
And exactly what you touched on earlier, Raven, that AKAWonder changed his ban strategy.
Yeah, the ban changed.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he was not banning, that he banned Priest last series.
Yes,
and then after seeing this against Sixo, we're all of a sudden leaving Priest open.
I can confirm that because I was in fact sat with AKAWonder when we watched Radu's last game, and Aka was like, he's not playing, you know, Raza Priest.
The good Priest. He's not playing the good Priest.
I should have left it open.
Oh yeah,
so
I'm also
we'll
leaving it open,
now.
I think.
Yeah, we've been trying to tell people for a long time that you guys are silly. There is one good Priest deck, and that has not changed.
Yes.
Play Raza Priest, please, for the love of God.
Oh, I thought you meant the good Priest deck was the double spell Big Priest. But,
yeah, well, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
I actually think there are 2 good Priest decks.
Big and
but
Raza?
yeah, it's not Dragon Priest. Yeah, so do you guys have an experience in this matchup previously? Have you played any Dragon Priest or Miracle Druid, or even Miracle Priest versus?
I don't think I've played a
Dragon
single Druid game.
I think I've played very few Miracle games, but I don't know, the deck feels very weird to me. It's like, I'd still think Jade Druid is just a better version of this. I don't know, it's like, it's a cute combo and all, but I think it's just because people are like trying new things for the expansion.
Sure.
I think like it will just go back to normal Jade Druid.
I think for me as well is a bit about Miracle Druid is a lot of the time the Giants don't really get it done.
Yeah.
So then you end up relying on Jades, and it's like, well, you could have just played Jade
Exactly,
Druid, right?
exactly.
And
Yeah,
I don't
that's
feel
the
that there are that many decks where the Giants do get it done. It feels like every time Giants come down, there's just, oh, there's an answer.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, you know.
The format has changed in a lot of ways. I think that previously, like this Miracle Druid build would be very good, and that the basic strategy would get the work done against a lot of decks. But seeing now how Warlock has risen in popularity, and a lot of other decks can just like very easily deal with that.
Yeah.
So we're still in a stage where people are figuring out exactly how all these new cards are affecting the format. And well, I don't blame people. I'm not sure that I have the right read on like the pace of the format or stuff like that yet. And I don't think we're going to have that answer in still a couple of weeks. It's this expansion really made a meta so much different.
I was going to say, look at the, it reminds me of the Ungoro expansion meta, right? Because I think, you know, matches were played over weeks, and I felt like every week there were different decks, and people were like, this is insane. Remember, like, Elemental Shaman was played by almost everyone in the first couple of weeks. Like, this is so good, and then very swiftly that disappeared.
I'm pretty sure everyone like had an idea though. Like after playing it a while, like it wasn't as good as everyone thought. But yeah.
My favorite thing is still like on the day 1 of this expansion, how like every single popular Hearthstone player on Twitter is like, oh, I broke the format, here we go, this is the best deck now.
That happens every season, always.
Well, the thing is,
it's always my favorite time.
You break that day's format, right? You know,
no, you actually don't break any format. It's just that everyone is playing, like, they're trying new stuff they want. They're not really playing real decks.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Okay, well, let's actually discuss the game of Hearthstone.
All right.
I guess, you know, now and again.
Yep.
But RDU's actually put on an impressive amount of pressure, as Dragon Priest tends to do, actually. I think Dragon Priest is best just as it curves out, right? You just want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, go. Yeah, especially 5 as well. That's not good about the 5 drop. That card's pretty decent.
What powerful cards do Dragon Priest play on 5?
Lyra.
Exactly. Nailed it. No, but honestly, that's. I think that AKAWonder might have underestimated this Priest deck a little. Priest is generally
I honestly
really
think
slow.
he overestimated the Druid deck.
Well, I think so too.
Yeah.
We playtested this Miracle Druid quite a bit, and while what it does is strong, it works as a counter to some of the decks in the format, but the general game plan just feels a little bit on the weak side.
It also feels a bit slow, I'd say. Like,
exactly.
It can get out-tempoed very easily by a lot of decks, I feel.
And there's just like way more things that piles up on that. It's, for example, how it can't come back. If your opponent builds a wide board, sure, you have Spreading Plague, but Spreading Plague is not really an answer. It's just like a stall mechanic, and you can't deal with wide boards. Yeah. So, and, well, if there's wide boards with big minions, like Big Priest puts up, I think you're in very bad shape.
You can do, yeah.
RDU does have now with this operative a pretty good set of choices, to be honest.
I would say that
DK?
transforming yourself into a DK Malfurion in this
Yeah.
deck seems pretty busted to me, and it's something I'd be very interested in doing here.
Yeah, I think you really like smorking for 3 every turn, right?
Yeah.
Most people.
I'd like my
most
hero
people.
power like that.
And I just wished I like smorking for 2 with the Hunter hero power.
Yeah.
DK
3
Malfurion.
sounds even better.
Exactly. But, well, AKAWonder has a power turn here with the double Arcane Tyrant.
I do like this card. It's not necessarily the best card in the world, but I like it existing because it allows you to do kind of like cool stuff in terms of swinging the board sometimes.
It also allows you to come back from behind, something that Druid historically has been pretty bad at.
Yeah.
And that's probably my favorite part about the card. It allows for such things while playing your power cards like Nourish.
Yeah.
Playing 0 mana 4/4s when you can play 0 mana 5/5s, though. I don't know about that.
I mean, you just play all 4, right?
Ah, yeah, I guess.
And speaking of cards as well, like Dustbreaker. Is it Dustbreaker or Dustbringer?
That's
Breaker.
Breaker, it's Breaker, right?
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, I've not got it on my screen.
It's on your screen.
It is. Okay. It's to
Yeah,
me, it's
that's
kind
great.
of everyone went insane when that card was revealed, right?
Uh-huh.
And it's definitely good,
Yeah, the power levels.
but I don't think it's game breaking. Because, for example, look at this.
No.
There's 2 Dustbreakers in hand that they're probably just dead for Radu for most of this
Yes.
game, right? And you can say, it's amazing versus aggro, which is true. But Dragon Priest wants to build up a board. Like I said, like Dragon Priest wants to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you don't want to Hellfire your own minions. So to me, it's strong, but it's also a bit of a weird card.
But I feel like it's a little bit unfair to say that because Dustbreaker was one of the first revealed cards. This set has brought up the power level of almost all decks by a
Sure.
mile. And when Dustbreaker was revealed, it really was this good. But that just like kept going on throughout the spoiler season. You're like, you look at the next card and you're like, this is the best card ever. Then the next card is also the best card ever. The power level in this set, I just think has been
It's Craigasm level.
Yeah,
exactly
It's been very high.
Craigasm.
If we could just transfer everything that we discuss into Twitch emotes, I think that might just be the best.
Oh, we should just talk in Twitch emotes right now. This Divine Spirit draw is potentially pretty PogChamp.
PogChamp, I'd say, yeah. I'd agree with that.
And if he picks up an Inner Fire, AKAWonder
It's
will
gonna
go,
be Craigasm.
it will go not like this.
Oh, yeah. For AKAWonder, yeah.
It is one thing I despise about playing against Dragon Priest, is that if you just leave a minion on the board, you're like, oh, I could just be dead next turn.
Yes.
And sometimes there's nothing you can do about it either.
Yeah, it's just the fear of that
Yeah.
like, makes you like play around things that
a lot of times you have to like do
aren't
awkward trades just to reduce
Yeah.
the health. It's sort of like Silence Priest. I feel like this is the evolution, right? Silence Priest was decent at the time, but Dragon Priest does what Silence Priest can do, except it gets to play really good cards as
Yes.
well, as opposed to like playing bad cards.
Yeah, like what if we just took out the entire part where we have to silence our minions and where we actually can just kill them with the Divine Spirits and
Yeah.
Inner Fire? Sounds
That
a lot
sounds
better
good.
to me.
Exactly.
Wow, this hunt from AKAWonder, though, it's
Yeah,
really not what he's looking for at
It
this
feels
point.
bad, man.
It's really feels bad, man.
there we go. Yeah, and this was also the problem we ran into when we were testing this deck, that there are quite a lot of draws where you find yourself in this sort of position where it's like, well, I would need a little bit more time to find my ultimate infestation or auctioneer, stuff like that, but the
No.
decks put like a lot of pressure on you.
The main bad thing about this deck is that like even if he draws UI now, even if he draws Auctioneer now, it's not like he's gonna have anything to clear the board, right?
But there's no swing turn.
Yeah,
right?
there's no swing
even
turn,
even
yeah.
with UI, there's no swing turn
Yep.
that comes out here.
You can't really turn the board around if you're like that far behind with this deck.
We are a deck that relies really hard on fighting for board because we don't have combat mechanics, and we are basically not very good at fighting for board.
Yep.
Look at this now as well. RDU can get Lyra down, get some value from Lyra, but I think, okay. I was going to say, most importantly, there's the Shadow Word Death, right? Because this is what I was
Yes.
talking about. Great, you played a cheap-ish giant, and there's the answer. And then you're back to, okay, well, now I'm playing Jade Druid that isn't Jade Druid.
Wait, does he play Death in his deck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Oh, he
death
does.
was.
He had one off Lyra and one in hand.
Interesting.
Yeah, you cannot really play too many spells in Dragon Priest because you need to have minions to pressure them with. But Shadow Visions offers you you can play Shadow Word Death as a one-off because Shadow Word Visions offers you a lot of flexibility.
Yeah, I think it's normally like the pains that are cut, right? From like average priest, you would say,
Yes.
like the average priest card.
Do you know if RDU plays the new 3-drop that like swaps
I
attack?
don't think we've seen it. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
we
don't
did
think
only
I've
see
seen
it
it
last series, RDU plays Priest, but I don't think we've seen it.
It looks like I've only seen Talon Priest so far, so
Yeah.
I doubt that card.
Talon Priest is a pretty good card.
It's a
So,
that card is crazy strong in like that. If that card was in any other class, it'd be like totally broken.
Sure.
But in Priest, it's kind of all right because Priest isn't as good of a board deck as other.
if that
other
card was
classes.
in like Rogue or Hunter,
I
you just die.
that-
Like, you just die.
there are a lot of good Hunter free drops, but I play Talon Priest over almost any of them
Oh
any day
yeah,
of the week.
it would be insane.
And now that those Dustbreakers still in hand, are they going to get any value this time? Can allow for at least 2 trades this turn. He could just fully clear, but it would clear off the Elemental, so that's not great.
That's what you're looking for.
Doesn't sound amazing. I like playing more operatives.
Like the thing about Dustbreaker is that like it's not meant to be good for this matchup. It's like just a dragon, right? So just activate dragon synergies basically.
That is true. It's a battery.
Yeah.
It's similar to what Twilight Whelp sort of became in old Dragon Priest, right? A lot of the time, yes, of course, it's great on one. Like there's no doubts. But later game, Twilight Whelp often just sat in your hand to be like, well, I have a dragon, let me do stupid things.
I like the argument that Soleil was putting it when the card was first revealed, is that when Duskbreaker is good, it's insane. Like when it can single-handedly beat a deck, but when it's bad, that's the matchups where your priest is already great in. In the matchups where Duskbreaker's dead, that's the matchups where you just play 1,000 operatives and combo your opponent out of the game. You really don't need Duskbreaker for these sort of matchup because just look at it. Just look at RDU's board.
You're doing pretty well.
Yeah, he has these 2 dead Duskbreakers in hand for the entire game, and he cannot be sad about that because he's just winning anyway.
Now AKAWonder is going to have to try and, or is starting to mount some kind of defense here, as he did get the UI, which that draw could have been very, very wrong. Like, he had a Jade Idol plus the draw off the deck for that turn, and he got UI. If that was almost any other card, he just loses probably at that point. UI might be enough to help him.
Doesn't have that much time because we see that he has the Inner Fire ready.
Oh, it's
getting hard.
So scary. It's like, these dragons are pretty good cards. What if I doubled or triple the health and then killed someone?
This isn't lethal, right?
No,
it's not even close.
I'm pretty sure it's not lethal. No.
He's at 31.
31, yeah.
Why did we start the turn with Inner Fire?
Yeah, I think we played Inner Fire way too fast there.
Radu's now taking his time as he realized he probably could have done something a little bit better there. What I will say is that the Dustbreakers will be really good to effectively open up the board for the Inner Fire minion to attack.
There's... Yeah, I mean, he can't do it now.
I'm not saying necessarily this turn, but in general, having like 6 damage if you've already buffed 1 dragon super high can get rid of the taunts that are in the way with double Dustbreaker.
Sure.
Also, are we sure that AKAWonder only plays 1 Naturalize? Or do you probably knows this better than I do?
I'm pretty sure most lists run 1.
Yeah, I think so too.
2 would be a bit nutty,
and
I think.
Judging from RDU's play, RDU's a player I respect a lot. I don't think he would do that play if there's any doubt.
I think we hit him for 21 there. I think I like hitting him for 21 there. It seems okay.
You're in a pretty bad spot if that gets naturalized, but if you're pretty sure that it's not going to get naturalized, then I do it.
Also, does he have a dragon now for to activate synergies?
No, not in hand, but I bet there's a lot in his deck.
You think a lot? Like, does he play the 5/5?
Well, I don't know, but I just Dragon Priest should have dragons. Sure, we've seen a lot.
He's used a lot so far, though, right?
Yeah. You're right.
I think he's probably relying on Nether Spite, right? With this operative.
Yeah, that would make sense.
This is close to lethal. It's not there yet, though.
How close are you to getting to the point of actually just playing operative?
I don't hate it. I think
operative death.
I think I like operative.
Wait,
even you can squeeze in a Radiant Elemental here too to try and contest.
You can even just potion one. You can even just potion one of the 1/5s into the 8/8 first.
Don't we like Malfurion here? No.
Malfurion.
Like, what does the 5 body really do here?
No. I like Malfurion too.
Yeah, because
good point.
Because we don't really need the minion on board. We just need our 21 attack minion to connect phase, right?
That's true. That is very true. I just like minions, Fina.
I guess this is good. This is fine.
On the board.
I think either line wins you the game, but Malfurion looks more solid to me.
Yeah.
And also, if you do draw a dragon or another spite next turn, suddenly that operative
really gets going.
Yeah,
you can find something.
Yeah. AKAWonder not really expecting to fight against Malfurion in this game.
Oh, she really wasn't expecting that. She went for spiders. Interesting.
Well, why not, right? What's the punish?
I don't know. I mean, the one just dies from the hero power.
Well, one of them does.
If
All he wants is to get through taunts, right?
AKAWonder spends time killing the spiders, I think we're in good shape.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Well, the thing here is, if AKAWonder's forced into, say, swipe hero power, that's so much of his mana means he's not going to do much. Then RDU just potion banishes the 1/5 that AKAWonder's just defended, and then goes.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't really need to protect the dragon with the
no,
taunt, right? She's never killing him, so...
Main argument is second spreading plague, right? If you do this and pick Scarabs and AK
Sure.
play second plague.
Yeah.
And also, I think this just forces AKAWonder to deal with these spiders, which means that this potion madness will just get lethal. Because all AKAWonder's trying to do is defend this taunt, and then you just potion win.
Yeah,
I think this is a really good play, actually. I feel like poison spiders are actually very underrated in terms of how often they're actually picked from Alpha.
they are like a risky play a lot of the time that people don't appreciate. Like, even if you do it sometimes and it like seems wrong, it doesn't mean it's always wrong. Maybe you're like in a bad position and you need...
Yeah, you just need to make something happen.
Yeah,
but here's the potion madness. AKAWonder, a bit of a nod there.
Yep.
As he knows, this is game, and that's the scary part of Dragon Priest. Yes, they just have good stuff, but the fact that any minion on the board can get so large, especially because of Shadow Visions, is the scary thing, right? Your opponent plays Shadow Visions, and you're like, oh god, like he's probably picked up either a Divine Spirit or an Inner Fire, which means anything can happen.
Yeah, I think you're like very scared when you just see a minion with like more than 6 health like thinking on the board. Then you're like really
And then you're
scared.
like, okay, I've got like 2 2/2s.
Yeah.
I have to put them into this minion to stop him killing
That
me.
feels awful.
And it gets nowhere.
It's awful.
I'm actually a little bit surprised that AK left the priest open. Thinking of his lineup, he has Rogue, which I'm not sure.
What
I'm
did
not
he
sure
ban?
if Dragon Priest is. I'm gonna guess that he banned Warlock, but I do not know. But that's the one thing that would make sense to me, considering how strong
I think he
Warlock
did ban
is.
Warlock.
So what
Yeah.
does he have? He has...
He has Rogue, Kalisaf Rogue, he has Miracle Druid, he has Warlock himself, and he has Priest. That got banned.
Yeah.
So I don't think we've seen the Priest yet. I don't like his chances with any of those decks, except possibly the Warlock against the Priest.
Yeah, Warlock should be okay. I don't know if it's favored. It should be very close.
I think the nature of Warlock at the moment means that you can put enough stuff in the way of the dragons that you probably don't just get smashed in the face for 20.
Yeah.
There's just so many awkward minions that you can just
that's
drop
true.
in front.
And he also doesn't play like Pain or Silence, right? Which...
Yeah, and one thing that Dragon Priest actually really struggles to do is get back on the board after losing it. Guess what? Twisted Nether's a really good card.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Twisted Nether against Dragon Priest, what do they realistically do? Like, not a lot.
But how Priest plays out in these matchups, though, is that Priest just like kind of sits there doing nothing. Like, it never goes in on Divine Spirit or whatever, and just sits there and puts up like reasonably large boards. And
She basically
the-
needs to kill you from
and-
really high HP.
Yeah, the Warlock, but you can do that, right? So
Can you?
The Warlock, yeah, with Divine Spirit,
But
Inner Fire.
Void Lord's a really good card,
Hey.
along with Homunculus.
Could he ever go for the 7 mana new dragon there? Or you think that's insane?
I think that's insane. I think that card is straight up unplayable.
Whoa,
and,
but
not
what you
something
got to think about, though, is how often does Warlock actually kill you in 2 turns?
No, that's not the thing though. I think the main issue is that like
How-
even if you play this, right? Like then he's just gonna like put a big taunt.
Yeah, put up a Void Lord, and then what do you do?
That's the main problem, I'd say. It's
And
only-
also, I do really like a 4-drop in with this hand. It seems pretty
Yeah, so you
good
just wanna
to drop
pressure. Okay.
Twilight Drake.
Do you guys think Silence is going to be teched into more decks after, like, this Warlock?
Oh,
Resurgence?
yeah.
But the thing is, what decks really like?
I just mean, like, drop a Spellbreaker in almost any deck. 'Cause
Yeah.
Spellbreaker's
You
a decent
could.
card, right?
Yeah.
We were looking a lot after we realized how strong Warlock was going to be for this tournament. We looked a lot on Spellbreakers, Polymorphs,
Owl.
even Hex, like just cards that deal with Void Lord goes up a lot in value.
Yep.
But the balance you have to do is like you have to have cards that deal with Void Lord, but then at the same time you can't be too weak to Corridor Creeper.
Oh, of course.
Those are kind of the things that define the format.
So at the moment, 2 Tar Creepers in the way, just blocking.
He's just buying time,
RDU out.
basically.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what
And
I
this is
get.
what I mean. You've got enough stuff
Yep.
to just put in the way repeatedly against Priest.
Are we sure that RDU doesn't play a silence? Because I would think that it's just what we talked about. If people did their testing properly, they should have realized how good cards like Silence and, well, Polymorph type like cards would be in this meta.
Yeah.
And putting one Silence in Dragon Priest does...
No, I actually don't think it's good because like you're thinking that most people that will play this Warlock will ban Priest, right? So you don't really want to like overtech against it.
Yeah, but I don't think that Silence... I think that Silence is in Dragon Priest. We saw it previously in Dragon Priest even.
So what else
just,
would
like,
you
played
say
one
it's good
Silence.
against now?
It's really weird though, right? Because the only reason that AKAWonder has not banned Priest is because he saw someone else's strategy which wasn't banning Radu's Priest and saw it was Dragon Priest. Did that sentence even make sense? It did, right?
Yeah.
So like, if RDU, his previous opponent, he just went up against a more like normal lineup that wants to get rid of Priest, well, AKAWonder would have banned Priest. So then, you know, you sort of run in that sort of rotation where, well, no one actually sees this Dragon Priest, so then is Silence worth it? I mean, that's a very high level, you know, sort of tech read.
Yeah. So don't tell anyone, but I just brought autofill Priest. I just was like, do you want to finish this deck automatically? Yes.
Someone did
because
tell
it's
me.
going to get banned anyway.
Someone did tell me to actually just close my eyes and for all the classes I submitted, just pick a random deck recipe and just play those decks. And like, how good are Blizzard's deck recipes? Let's test it in a tournament.
That would be really good for me if you did that.
Please do that next time we face each other, Raven.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll do the same promise.
So next
Wink,
SeatStory,
wink.
let's go.
Exactly.
Everything seems pretty even though so far. Radu's still
So we're
rocking this
just
Twilight.
waiting for minions to stick and get inner fire.
Yeah, just look at Radu. He's doing exactly. He's a ton of cards in hand. He's putting enough pressure on AK. AK feels pressured here. He has to do things, and just like this board by Radu, it's representing
Oh, is he
12
gonna twist
damage.
it?
It's a lot more.
Ooh. Okay.
I mean, what else was there though? Really, like, what are you gonna do? You don't want to Abyssal. You don't want to just.
I know how good just for one turn Siphon Soul is.
Yeah, I guess.
Just siphon the Twilight Drake that's already buffed,
Yeah.
and then just leave the 5/5. Next turn your opponent's going to put more board, then you can nether and hold the coin. But to be fair, if you're holding the coin, what you're holding the coin for at this point?
The thing is that like you feel that this is like a big enough board because it has like 2 big minions and you're like what is he gonna develop like with 8 mana? Like it can't be that big. It's probably like 1 minion that I can just siphon, right? So yeah, I think I like
Leave
that.
Elemental up. It's scary though. Obviously, with only on its own, it's nowhere near as scary.
Wait.
Whoa.
But Elemental's a
whoa,
good
whoa, whoa.
card, guys.
Wait. I think this is lethal with a Divine Spirit.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
this is actually lethal, the Divine Spirit.
Yeah.
Potion of Madness causing AKAWonder some problems.
This is nice.
Told you Elementals are scary.
Well, Power Word Tentacles, the
Helps.
staple in Priest.
Yeah, I guess I'm banning Priest anyway. Yeah. That sounds good.
Oh my. Oh my.
RDU fans love to see that.
That homunculus is giving AKAWonder a Monka S.
Okay.
Boom! There's 40 damage.
2-0. Priest, still good. It turns out, who could have guessed?
Priest seems good.
Even if you decide that Rasa and Shadow Reaper is like a little bit too unfair and you want to give your opponents a little bit more of a chance, so you bring Dragon Priest to be...
Yeah, you just debated
to
him,
be
right?
nice to your opponents. It's still good.
He baited him. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna bring this deck. Maybe like someone won't ban it and he'll see it and he'll leave it open.
Great bait, mate.
And
Great
the problem
bait,
here
great.
is, Aka thought that was his best deck. And yeah, you know, like, yes, he got 40'd, yes, he got Power Word Tentacle. Do you know what I mean? Like, that isn't something that happens on the regular, but it's something that can actually happen because Lyra's a card and Elemental was left up, and you saw Lyra, so you've got to be at least a little bit afraid. We're moving on to game number 3. AKAWonder has his Rogue, sorry. I was like, Corridor Creeper and Bone Mare. What deck could this be? Literally any deck in the game right now.
So, like, how is this match? Oh, yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
How is this match up with this card? I actually haven't tested it. It should be way better for the
This
Priest,
was
right?
previously really good for Rogue, if I recall correctly.
Oh, whoa.
There we go.
Hold up.
But I think with Duskbreaker, it's way more of a real matchup. And I would even go as far to say that maybe Dragon Priest is favored in this sort of matchup.
What do you think?
Duskbreaker is a really busted card.
Yes.
You still run into the problem where if the game goes long, I think you would struggle with Bone Mare, considering you're not a deck running Shadow Reaper Anduin.
And I think Valspine just flips Priest boards pretty hard, right?
Yes.
Because you're only ever really having 1 to 2 minions on the board. One Valspine turn is Very, very scary.
I don't know, man. I'm so scared of this 4-mana guy.
I'm really scared of the
4-mana
4-mana
man.
guy.
4-mana, man, yeah. Looks so scary.
Breaker, man.
Aka had the Kelesov turn too, though. Let's see how that turns out.
I mean, that definitely helps, especially when
Yeah,
you've
that
not
does.
played patches yet.
He trades?
I agree.
He trades.
He trades.
Look what happened last time RDU had a big hand. Aka died, guys.
Iggy's sitting there like, if I don't trade
Oh,
in
did
this
you like
cleric,
this?
am I dead?
Do you like this orange? I'm pretty sure I would have just probably jumped the 3-4.
Yeah,
no?
I also like just jamming Cabal Talon Priest. That's why we played Talon Priest in Rasa Priest before rotation hits. Maybe we still do, who knows? Because fighting for board against Rogue in the early game, you feel like, oh, Rasa Priest is not a deck that generally wants to fight for board, and Rogue is. But you could very easily, with cards like Talon Priest, fight him in the early game for board.
Was that Nether Spite not more of a nod towards the Dustbreaker he had, though?
Yeah, but like I would be scared, man, because like he buffed his deck and we're going like he could very easily have played a minion that doesn't die to it, and he could also have not discovered the second one. So
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fino's point is with Nether Spite play, you commit to always playing Dustbreaker
Yes,
on 4.
exactly.
Sure,
If I play
Exactly.
Talon Priest, I might not be forced to
Okay.
Dustbreaker on 4. And since Kelesif is active, I would like to save this as long as possible.
well, now it's getting awkward.
Speaking of Duskbreakers, we have a few coming up, but
Do we ever just play 1 year instead of the 5-mana guy?
I really like it in Draconid Operative out on this turn, but because
I actually like this.
well,
Well, the problem is now, are you not forcing yourself to Dustbreak next turn?
We played the wrong one though. Okay.
that's true. But okay, so why I like Operative this turn is because this is the turn where your opponent is not gonna have, or probably not gonna have an active
Requires a backstab.
Wildspine Slayer. Every turn after this, that Draconid Operative is gonna be able to get Wildspine, and that's a huge tempo loss.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
That did feel a bit strange there. It just felt like a weaker turn. Because now look at the trade, and then if one, he knows 1-drops available because he knows the elementals
Yes.
in hand, right? So if that's been held this long, then you're like, okay, whatever I play is being Valspine next turn.
Yeah.
Now this is what I was talking about right at the start, where one Valspine sort of flip can be a little bit too much for Dragon Priest.
Yeah,
There's
I like
death.
this. You look for death and you jam out the cleric, and that
Yeah.
way you force AK to deal with the cleric, because otherwise that has a clean trade into the 7-1.
Does he Valspine that?
The
I
cleric?
I think he will.
Yeah.
Pushing for
Well,
7.
depending on what he draws. Wait, can he not just res the dragon again?
Pretty sure he just Valspine.
Rest,
that.
rest.
It's also a
Scale
4 or 5, right? I'm pretty sure the Valspine is a 4 or 5.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It's a Yeti. Yeti spine.
Yeah.
I think this is pretty okay, actually.
I think that's the problem. Well, the mistake I see people do with Wildspine the most is they get way too greedy. They see destroy a minion, and you're imagining these great big minions you can Wildspine. A lot of the time, it's just an amazing tempo play.
I mean, I'm okay just playing a 3-4 that kills anything at this point. You know what I mean? Like, I just want more stuff on the board, especially because those turns are often leading to your Bone Mare turn, right? So the more stuff you have on the board, the more likely something sticks.
Yeah, in the Rogue Mirror, like several times, you just like coin a Wildspine,
Oh, anything.
a
Yeah,
Firefly,
anything.
just to gain that tempo because it's so important.
And here we go.
Another concern that's on AKAWonder's mind is, of course, Potion of Madness here, because that's pretty painful on the Flame Elemental going into the SI agent.
Yeah,
But
also Dragonfire, but
yeah, ultimately, I don't think it changes a thing.
Well, I think as
Yeah,
well,
it
like,
doesn't.
Dragonfire is always like a worry, and it's going to happen at some point, so...
Yeah.
This is a sick turn.
It doesn't alter your turns too much.
This is a very nice turn for Radu.
With Duskbreaker and the Talon Priest
Yeah, yeah.
or a Tar Creeper.
That's better.
Oh, I think Talon's okay, right?
I think I like Tar Creeper.
Yeah, I like Tar Creeper more, and you follow up with Operative Talon Priest, and you have a pretty big board that can fight in
The
the
thing
long
is,
game
you don't have
versus AK.
dragons though. It's just 5-6.
I'm fine with a 5/6.
You're also running out of resources.
It's okay, Shadow Visions. Easy.
We got everything we need. Nothing to worry about.
Okay.
But we don't, but RDU has.
Whoa, 2 3-4s though. This is good.
These Serenite Chain Gangs, their bodies match up very well against what's up.
Wow, he doesn't jump the captain. That's interesting.
How much longer can this game go on? The Saranites hit the board.
Didn't you like captain there? Like, are you really playing around stuff now? Like, Maybe it's fine. Like if you expect Dragonfire here, you go Captain Res.
Also, you 100% have a wild span activated for next turn.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I
Yeah,
feel like
okay,
the
okay.
Shengang is enough pressure.
Yeah, sure. Valspan argument is good.
Also, all of this going on. Rod
Oh,
is
there's the silence.
Rod is sitting on 14. Hey,
Yeah.
there is the silence. I think that silence alone improves his matchup against Warlock by a ton. But I'm not sure if AKAWonder knew that there was a silence in RDU stack.
Wait, Radu is wanting Priest, by the way? Yeah, right?
Yes.
Probably.
He has a mismatch.
It was the first.
That's kind of
series.
weird, though, because isn't this deck like supposed to be the Priest killer or something? The Razor Priest killer?
It's supposed to be, but I'm not sure if it does that very consistently.
Yeah,
I would never
probably not
really-
anymore with a 7 mana card, right?
Yeah, Scream.
Psychic Scream, yeah.
Welcome addition to the
And
Rasa
there's
Free
a-
Stars and all.
It's really funny that people are like, oh yeah, but you know, this deck does pretty well against Raza Priest. I just don't want to play against Raza Priest. You know,
Yeah,
it's
I
like, I'm
remember
just-
my first game of like this. I played Raza Priest. I played against this deck. I had Raza last card, Vel, and like the card before that, and I still won. I was Raza Priest.
It's Raza Priest.
It's like, yeah, the deck is just way too good.
So what do you play in Raza Priest?
Oh, Raven.
You nearly told me that as well.
Oh, if you leave it open, I'll tell you.
There's a very easy way for you to find out that tomorrow,
Yes.
Raven.
Tomorrow, same time, same place at SeatStory on SeatStory B-Stream, which you guys should check out as well. If you're watching
Yes.
at home, of course. B-Stream, there's plenty of other matches going on. All the groups do get played out and streamed.
Ooh.
This is just the one we've chosen for the A-Stream, though. Boom,
7, 11,
12.
12. Yes.
Good counting, team.
I cannot count that high.
Man, let's just hit him in the face.
Yes.
Question is, which one do we buff?
Do you ever... is there a way to use Shadow Step this turn as well? Shadow Step maybe the Valspine?
I guess this is also fine.
Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, this is fine.
Because that Shadow
Wait.
Steps, unless you like draw Leroy, in which any way you put in so much pressure on it's fine, you remove all minions from the board. Yeah, you're kind of weak to Dragon's Fire Potion. That's it, right?
Wait, is this fine? Like, what
Yeah,
were you
I
losing
was
before?
just gonna say I'm not sure this is fine because
I mean,
of Dragonfire.
it's fine because he wins anyway. I don't know if it's fine, like, overall.
I don't think it's the optimal play.
Yeah.
My only thought was if Dragonfire came down, then there's not much more to do anything else. You have Bone Mare plus likely a minion you can play next turn.
The keyword there is likely. There are shadow steps. There are backstabs. There are. I don't think there.
I mean, just slam a Bone Mare on its own, just 5/5. Or
Sure,
6/6.
sure,
It was
sure,
a
but
6/6.
th-
That's
that-
the thing,
that
it
is-
doesn't
that
die
is
to
beatable.
Dragonfire.
I feel like with that play there are outs for RDU. There are combinations of 2 cards RDU can have that makes
No.
either like two bad draws from AK and he can't turn it around. Whereas with other play, I don't think there are.
But if Dragonfire comes down anyway and you put your opponent to 1, then like Dragonfire heal puts you to 3, so you're out of range anyway. So if you draw a backstab, it's still a problem. Except you don't have a minion.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll have nothing.
Wait, what's already used last deck?
Well, I think he's just playing this matchup first.
Druid, aggro Druid.
For information?
Yeah, so he's just plays this to gather information, which I don't think there's anything wrong with doing
Yeah,
that.
okay, it's not.
Gives us more time together. So
Amazing.
Kappa Pride.
So I'll leave this up to you. I'm definitely not a quest mage expert.
Oh, I don't
so
think I've played a single game of this deck.
Great.
Yeah.
Raven, this is where you.
Oh, yeah,
swoop
Raven
in
is the big
and-
quest mage hater.
yeah, I probably
Yeah,
hate
yeah,
Quest
yeah.
Mage more than both of you combined. That and Big Priest.
That's up for.
I don't hate
Have you
it.
looked at
I
my
like when
Twitter?
people play it because it's
Every
fun.
week, Orange. Anyway, so although I have cast a lot of Quest Mage, if that helps.
Good.
But yeah, this matchup's fairly straightforward, as are most Quest Mage games. The Quest Mage either, this is going to sound really dumb, but the Quest Mage either gets there or it doesn't. And
Wow.
Wow, Raven.
Wait.
Great analysis.
Well, I mean,
the knowledge
this is
bomb
why they
there.
pay me the big bucks, guys. And AKAWonder basically is just going to just race. That's all he can do. Just do as much damage as possible, go as fast as possible. But at the moment, Tile Creeper isn't exactly.
So this
the
is
card
like
he's looking for.
like a very good tip for everyone that like has trouble against quest mage. Just don't kill any minions, guys. There's like only one place against quest mage,
Face.
and that's not the minions.
Face.
Yes.
The minions are not meant to be killed. I did look up some stats though about this deck because that's kind of part of the job. You have to look at a lot of stats when you prepare for tournaments. I think that the last time I looked up this specific matchup, Telesef Rogue versus Quest Mage, I think Quest Mage was at a solid 27 win rate.
Really?
Seems about right.
Yeah, it's really, really tough for Quest Mage to beat any of the aggressive decks, especially if the aggressive decks pack Bone Mare. All of these cards are very hard to beat, and if they also have efficient answers to your Doomsayers in the form of Wildspine Slayer.
Yes.
I think that's the biggest deal for me. Like, getting a clear board off something like a Doomsayer setup is so hard because it's literally the only minion Rogue needs to Vile Spine.
Yeah.
You cannot bait a Vile Spine in this matchup because there's no other minions to kill.
Yep.
Maybe he Wildspines my Novice Engineer.
Ah,
Who knows?
the raw tempo play.
Exactly.
I like it. Remove that 1/1. Let's go. And these are very good minions that AKAWonder has in hand.
Oh, this
as well.
is the curve. This is what you want.
Yeah.
Just want to play minions and hit him in the face.
Kabbalist Tome into Deck of Wonders.
I was just
into
gonna
3
say
Pyroblast to face.
that,
Easy.
That Kabbalist Tome. If I could pick a 4-card hand versus Quest Mage, it would absolutely be Cobalt Scalebane, Karen Bloodhoof, Bone Mare, and Kabbalist Tome.
And there's a Leroy as well now, so there's even further reach. Maybe prot that block
This is exactly what
one
we want.
turn earlier.
You know, also this is a Doomsayer killer, right? Like,
That's true, yeah.
because
That's
we don't have
actually
a
very
Vile
true.
Spine right now, so...
Yeah. No way to freeze face as well, unless one of the random spells the Quest Mage gets is freezing potion.
Uh-huh.
Or, Frostball, whatever as well.
Let's go through the motions. We should talk about... Okay, so we talked about how favored Rogue are. We should talk about how Quest Mage wins this matchup. So how you do it is you need to... Well, the main thing you want to do is to get a Doomsayer off. But that is kind of optimistic, as we just said, because of
optimistic, I'd
Wildspine.
say.
But you can win if you are able to chain enough card draw and freezes at the same time, which means that you can't really get that pressured in the early game. As I said, we have to be really ambitious when we play this matchup. So if he doesn't take too much damage here in the early to mid game, then he can start chaining, like Frost Nova and Cold Light in the same turn. The Blizzard Arc and Intellect. As for instance, just slowly set up his combo, and then for a turn where he goes for a Prince and Kabbalist Tome and finishes the quest, in one go.
Yeah.
Those are the sort of games
This
that
Frost Nova
Quest Mage
pickup
do.
is great here, probably.
Exactly, it plays straight
It's
into
exactly
the game
what
plan.
you want, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're opening that. Is he thinking about
Neither.
something else?
I guess you can make an argument for Kona Cold, but I don't like it.
So he clears, I guess. He wants Cone of Cold to clear. Like,
Doesn't make much sense to me.
Yeah. I mean, you don't care about clearing the board, really, do you? You just don't want to get hit. With double Blizzard.
yeah, that's why I said maybe he wants to clear, because he has double Blizzard, so that's 4 damage plus 1 from...
I think on 19 with no Ice Block, though, like, any point of damage is a problem.
Also, I want to talk about that. Now all the Quest Mage experts can make fun of me in chat or on Twitter. Feel free to, but I do
It's
not...
not only the Quest Mage experts, mate.
Exactly, everyone, you're allowed to. I did not like that Frost Nova play. I think that turn I would have preferred to either just ping the patches or go for Volcanic Potion or something that wasn't using our 1-mana Frost Nova. I want to be really greedy in this matchup and save my freezes for the late game because I know I need a lot of time. So we just accept that we're taking...
You have to take the risk, right? Yeah, I agree with
7
that.
damage from those minions that we leave up, and then start freezing from the next turn forward. They go Blizzard into Blizzard, and then we play the Frost Nova together with some card draw spells. That's what I would really like to
So
see.
what did the 5-mana Dragon hit like the first time with the buff? Was it
patches.
Dark
The
Reaper?
patches.
Yeah, they
Oh,
just
so,
pinged off.
okay.
So he could have
you can
just
just ping the
pinged, but-
patches, yeah.
Yes.
The only problem there is if you take in 7, then you go to 12. And then, is 12 just a scary number?
That is a scary number, but we need
We need to win somehow, that's the thing.
I'm not disagreeing.
Yeah.
I'm just asking the questions. guys.
Yeah, I think-
it's a good argument.
I think if you, I don't know if he really, cares about this match or that match. Maybe he wants the info more, right? He just wants to, make the game last as long as possible or something.
It looked like with the play he made, he was hoping with the ping on the scale, then he was hoping to kind of control the board in this matchup, which I don't think is a realistic plan against a Bone Mare deck.
Yeah.
You only run so many freezes.
Well, also there's no secret up. That's another thing to say, right?
That's what I mean, though. The 12 without an ice block or
Yes.
or anything else is a very scary number because you can just die next turn.
Yes, you're really scared at this point. You can't get a Nova Doom off, so
Well, also, when do you have the mana? Well, now that's a little bit better with Nova, but when are you even going to have the mana to play a secret in the same turn as freezing the board? Because if you play Ice Block and the block gets procced, you almost did nothing anyway, right?
yeah.
Do you know when I started getting scared? It's when when we queue this matchup.
Well, this is not a bad hand though. Like
No.
you can just go in with the apprentices, right? Like if he just gets a Kabbalist soon.
Yeah, just go all in.
Yeah, like you just go girls, then you just play the Molten Reflections, Nova, and then you're like, okay, like he's not gonna kill everything, is he? Like it's not so easy.
Also, as well, even if you get it off and there's no Antonidas, well, you can just maybe get more freezes because Rogue can't really deal with all your apprentices, and maybe you can just get them that way.
Yeah, I think
Definitely
RDU
hard and definitely unlikely, but something to think about and consider.
That is absolutely or plan B or even like plan C. Like,
Plan Q.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like, if all else goes wrong, I'm hoping these apprentices stick.
We would love to not go for that, but
no, I think that's like
sometimes
the
it
only
is.
way you win. Like I don't think he ever wins by getting the full combo off. Like
What I think is
there's
the most...
obviously not much time, right?
Yeah.
Well, we might see next turn. One, we'll see the draw from RDU, and then we could see like Simulacrum into Nova, to more draw, and then go the turn after.
Yeah.
Because that's still at least two more draws, which, 2 cards deeper into the deck. If you have a quick look, RDU is on 15 cards. He's exactly halfway through. AKAWonder doesn't really matter because he's playing Rogue.
Yeah, the thing is that this Doomsayer really doesn't do anything. Like, RDU probably knows at this point there's a Valspine.
Especially, the key for me is, do you want to play Doomsayer into what you assume will be a Valspine, or do you want to spend that mana doing anything else, right? Can you get more draw? Can you set something else up?
Whoa.
Oh, well, there's Antonidas.
Well, that thing says one.
There's some light at the end of the tunnel.
I don't even know how many spells you need to play. 6, okay, cool.
We are not very far on the quest, but we do have the coin, and with well, it's gonna be really hard to. We actually like the piece that is usually like the easiest is to actually get your quest off. We have the full combo, but we need to get that time warp. But if we can pick up an ice block,
if he gets ice block, he's in a decent spot, right?
Exactly. Like we are very close to getting there with 13 cards left in our deck. I don't think that this is far from over.
This is like all of his freezes gone though.
Isn't there one Frost Nova left?
Wait,
I think he's frozen like every single turn. So
yeah, but one was from Glyph though.
Doesn't Aka let this Doomsayer go off?
Why?
Okay, so use check. Because there's no block, he needs room to be able to Leroy. But if he just went for Valspine,
he knows there are no more freezes. I'm pretty sure this was like. I think I saw 2-3 mana Novas.
I mean, there's always Tome. There's always Tome, Fino.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you want to play.
I think you want a space for Leroy.
I think it's overthinking it to try and. Try and let this board be killed. We have a Bone Bear minion on board.
This shot is also fine. I think you just needed to leave one space. You have 6 damage from hand.
Yeah.
If you get frozen and you lose the game because you couldn't kill him even though you had lethal with Leroy, then that's a little bit scary. Did you use the Shadow Step though? Which means now Leroy Shadow Step. Leroy is out of the question for now.
Oh, that's one towards the quest.
Yeah, that's two. But still, with a Kabbalist Tome that finds you free spells, we are still not there.
Oh,
there
is the Nova. I was pretty sure of that.
All right.
Now we're a Kabbalist Tome away, pretty much. Glyph is amazing.
That's
wow.
Good.
I think
if
RDU...
Quest Mage gets there.
I think he can easily get there.
There's another Doomsayer now.
Okay, at this point, if I were to pick a favorite in this game, I'd pick RDU.
Yeah, because the thing is that he doesn't only have Kabbalist Tome, he has 2 blocks, right? And 2 Arcanologists. So anytime he draws that, he buys himself more time.
See, this limited space is a little bit scary here.
Also,
he could have played Leroy and then soulcast it into his deck again to draw it.
Yeah.
He could have had Leroy Shell Step Leroy as well.
I want to make one point. That is, I said earlier that I wanted him to not use the first Frost Nova and go down to 12. We've seen a Shadow Step used with that Leroy in hand. If he had done the play I preferred, RDU would be dead right now.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, it's a little bit scary when you... Mainly because there's no block, right? That's the issue, right? That's the breaking point for me, at least. The lack of block. And now he's going to use Leroy to kill the Doomsayer, but that's so much damage from hand that has gone. The Shadow Step being used the previous turn. Now the Leroy gone. Doing 0 damage. And 16 is hard to do from nothing now with Leroy gone.
Does he always get Ice Block here? I actually don't know.
I bet there's a barrier in the deck.
Yeah.
I'm sure there is a barrier in the deck. So this is a 67% chance on Arcanologist to hit block.
And there's an update. There's 2 out of 6 spells as well. Just so
you just I think you glyph first.
We start with Glyph. We're always going to go
Yeah.
Glyph this turn, so might as well start there.
Yeah, I like it.
See what our options are. Hopefully a block or a freeze.
I can't see.
Oh.
Okay.
can bait the block.
Mana Bind is kind of good because that's one more. That's one more on the quest, which makes it you less reliable on getting free
Yeah,
playable
but-
ones from.
Okay, sure.
I mean, the other options are totally irrelevant at this point,
Yes.
so it's always Mana Bind. Or not.
Wants to get rid of Can.
Maybe because he wants to get through with the girls. No, it doesn't matter. He's gonna OTK him anyway.
Found Ice Block. That's key.
Easy enough.
I think we picked the secret.
Yeah, I'm very confused.
Okay.
Holly does up the quest again, so we are on 3, I believe, for RDU. And now he has a lot of stuff. Volt Potion, looking pretty good there.
8.
So is
And then this play cleared off the Can,
Whoa,
right?
that was a
Wha-
huge risk.
is that we've seen Leroy used? Like Leroy is out.
Yeah,
That's
what's
a really good play.
But you can, this way you can push 8, then you can Shadow Step the Bone Marrow. No, wait, so you push 5, Shadow Step the Bone Marrow, push another 7, and then there are cards that kill you, I'm pretty sure. It's a risk, but
He bought himself one more turn.
yeah, he certainly did. I like this play from Radu.
We didn't see that. That was very
I am
good.
wrong again. Good,
Well, also,
good spotted, Radu.
What's kind of insane about this play is that at worst, he just ice blocks next turn.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, what's up? Because at the moment, there are no secrets.
At worst, he dies next turn.
Yeah.
But I don't know how, though. It would be hard.
I mean, on his following turn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
that's what I mean. If he survives
his
this
fault.
turn, then he has even longer.
Yeah,
to
okay.
go.
Exactly. He bought himself one extra turn with this play.
And one extra turn may as well be an eternity.
Absolutely. It was a
He
little
could
bit
die,
risky,
though, right?
but
Like, just bone mare, like deckhand or something.
But that would be enough, would it? Bowman deckhand? Plus
No,
6.
they're not buffed, so it will be close. Not enough.
plus like this Flame Gaze or whatever. You know, there's free cards, but I like the risk you took.
I like
really
the
do.
risk, yeah.
And that's just what scared me about using Shadow Step and Leroy, how they were used. Like, that is just a lot of damage when you've not seen Ice Block all game.
Can we talk about this Spellbender and how good it is against Molten Reflection?
Oh, no space though.
Oh, it's filled the board!
Doesn't proc.
Oh wow!
Oh,
that's
we win?
That's a huge.
Wait,
Wait, what?
wait.
What's
Why?
that quest done?
The Firefly wasn't even needed.
No, this is safer from RDU's side. This checks for a lot of more secrets. If he goes in on the
Oh, it
Sources
could have been-
Apprentice, it
yeah,
could have been
yeah,
like
yeah.
Counter Spell or a lot of things.
Yeah.
Well, it could have been, is Runes a problem as well if it just kills the Sorcerer? The first one?
Yes.
I think that is a
Yes.
problem.
Well,
right?
Runes is a problem either way. Oh, he's checking for runes. This is really good by RDU.
The thing is though that now the spellbender will proc
If he trades into this.
Yes.
If AKAWonder realizes that, because I don't think that AK realized that considering he played both Fireflies. So if AK fills up the board again, then RDU is gonna win. If AK realizes his mistake, then I think this is always AKAWonder's game.
Wait, doesn't RDU win anyway? Like, does he need all the sorcerers?
With two Chain Gangs in the way, I'm not sure.
Yeah, with the chain axe, yeah, it's probably not enough.
What a game.
This is crazy.
This game's actually nutty. Like, there's so many just tiny points that are causing the game to get very, very strange very quickly.
Casting this game, I wish I was way better at this deck than I am.
Yeah.
That's what I think about every game of Hearthstone I cast.
Sure.
Okay, don't fill the board, please.
You never need one damage. You know, you never need a 1-2, right?
I think-
we should have already traded the Fireflies. Like they're.
Yeah.
Let's not fill the board.
This is scary.
I'm scared.
You don't.
AKAWonder's probably
You
scared.
really do not need to play cards here, AK.
Even has Flame Geyser in hand, right? Like, even has Burn from hand.
Okay,
if
he
its
did
face
fill
is
the board.
frozen.
Alright, that's good. That's good. Wow, so does he win?
Right, Intellect's pretty huge though, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
Why? Now he's gonna get...
Oh wait, he doesn't need to draw anything, right? You're right. Yeah.
Whoops. Well, let's see Radu's face.
Wait, he's not even finishing the quest this way, right?
Depends from.
No, it's never gonna have mana enough.
Yeah, RDU fans hate to see that.
It depends what he gets from Tome, right?
No.
Oh no, but he doesn't. If he tomes here, he doesn't have mana
Yes.
to cast a time warp because he has less apprentices.
Oh,
on
right,
board.
sure.
Whoa, there's a block.
Yep, there you go.
He doesn't... No? He can't play it, though. He needed... Yeah, it's over. Right? He needed to get...
He needed the spell.
No, even Molten Reflection didn't do it.
No, even Molten Reflection did not
Wow,
work.
so him actually checking for explosive actually lost him the game.
And Counterspell, he did the right play. But
Yeah,
if he had just
Well,
went
if
there-
it
No, I'm
ruined
not
you,
saying
but
it was bad.
yeah.
I'm not saying it was
Yeah.
bad. No, yeah.
But yes, if he would have just went for it last turn, that was his game.
Yes. Wow.
For something that was such a bad matchup we talked about at the start, and it's like, oh, yeah, you know, RDU's probably just, you know, wanting to see more cards, see more stuff.
Yeah,
that
but
got
that's like-
awfully close.
Nah, I think it was all because of that, like, Nova he got from Glyph. It was, like, so huge there.
Yeah.
It just prevented so much damage. He would be dead.
RDU did great.
Yeah, I really like how he played this game.
Way better than I would have ever played it.
Yes,
So.
same.
Same. As a group, we can decide we all suck at Quest Match.
Yes.
Amen.
I mean, I have
that-
no desire to play that deck anyway, so I'm
I'd
okay.
say that's something to be proud of.
I am
Yeah.
bringing Mage. Who knows? Maybe I
Because then you don't
maybe
get
I'm taking it
tempted
for
to
a
play the
spin.
deck, you know?
Oh, yeah.
If you're not good at the deck, then you're not
same
tempted
with,
to
same with
play.
being Big Priest. I don't care how good it gets. I ain't playing that.
Oh, Big Priest, yeah.
Nah.
Nah. It doesn't have Raz.
Let's get into the last game, though. It's going to be RDU's Aggro Druid versus this Rogue. And this is a bit more of a
This is very
favored
interesting
matchup in
to me.
RDU's end, I feel.
How do you feel about this, Lawrence? Like, I feel people are, like, underestimating Rogue in this matchup.
I think it's a real matchup. I don't
Yeah.
think this is even close to how bad Quest Mage is versus Rogue, but
Yeah.
I was actually playtesting in this matchup way before it got relevant because Omega Zero
Whoa.
was in my group of Summer Championship. And he had brought Aggro Druid when Aggro Druid was not a deck. So I tested this a lot versus Rogue. And while Aggro Druid is a favorite in this matchup, mostly because of Living Mana existing, and also Crypt Lord is really hard to deal with. But it's definitely losable. If Rogue gets early tempo in this matchup by, say, coining SI agents and putting up Tar Creepers as defense while having the coin a Wild Spine on a Crypt Lord.
Something really weird happened. And that I really don't like that. He kept Shadow Step as Rogue.
We saw him do this in last series too, and I
That's
cannot really
so
explain it.
optimistic. Like, so you're hoping that you coin a Psy, and it kills something or it sticks, and then next turn you get a trade and you Shadow Step. That feels kind of weird.
I'm not a big
Especially
fan.
when you already have the Tar Creeper in.
Yeah, like you turn 3 could go in.
Yeah,
right?
because you keep Tar Creeper, so you want to go coin a Psy to Tar Creeper,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So that's kind of weird.
Which you'd be happy with. If I said to you, you can just always coin SI into Tar against Aggro Druid, I'd be like, yeah, I'll take that 2 turns. Like, I'm okay with this. Seems good. Ooh, Pache. Pache draw, never good.
Feels bad. Man.
Here's the coin SI, though.
Does RDU just go for Roar here? Or
Does he ever step the SI here? Yeah.
Whoa. Well,
I mean-
I do not like this.
Well,
play
you can
at
patches
all.
into patches and play the SI again, right? Or
You
just
can
aggro.
double SI next turn.
Yeah, but then again, or free. No, so
Wait.
Then you don't have a hand, basically.
No,
Doesn't he want to patches into SI into Shadow Step SI?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that I think it's kind of
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
your free is stacking up really well on board. Even if RDU has a buff here, he does not have very good trades into the SI, and you're very happy if it trades into your SI. By just leaving it on board, it's very realistic that you could just that you will have it up next turn. You'll be able to get an attack in, then you can shadow step it and double SI and do the same thing.
but like if he just clears it though, then you're just left with 2 Shadow Steps, a Tar Creeper, and a Leroy.
Dream.
What's the efficient ways for him to clear this? A Savage Roar?
You just
Or-
hope that his hand is like Savage Urge or something bad.
Yeah, but if he Savage Roars, then you just follow up with Tar Creep and you're in kind of good shape. I don't think there are very efficient ways for Radu to ever clear that free SI, and then you just have a way
Okay.
better play the next turn.
Well, now, though, there's Keleseth Shadow Step SI if he really wants to go free. Sorry, Keleseth SI, then Shadow Step on X.
Yeah.
Keleseth for a double buff, go.
Uh,
All in.
Do we love the double buff here from Keleseth, or do
No,
we
no,
want
we don't care about
yeah,
it.
we just
I
want to
was
keep
joking
this second
about the
Shadow
Shadow
Step.
Step.
yeah, we just
Okay.
careless of the side here, right?
No, but I don't think it's an unreasonable point to bring up because a
I
lot of
think-
people see Keleseth Shadow Step, and like even in the early game, we're like, oh yeah, love to see that. Let's do that double buff on our minions.
Like
Sign me up.
if Patsis is not in your deck, like then it doesn't really do that much, right?
Exactly.
He doesn't go for it. He wants to
And
clear.
it's a lot of resources to pile in, right? That's the problem.
I mean, I don't hate this play actually, but
I think I'd like just Keleseth Kellis SI more than I like this, but this is fine.
Well, next turn he has hero power, Kelly.
It's
Or
like a
just
good
hard
usage
creeping
of the
away.
Shadow Step, though. You can't deny that, right?
It is, but I think that this SI, as I was talking
Oh.
about earlier, this SI is likely going to
Sticking.
stick.
Okay. Let's play the Swass, I guess.
Swash, Tar Creeper. The only one concern you have is that RDU is playing 2 Golakka Crawlers, but playing Swashbuckler, if there's a turn you want to play it, is into the Druid's turn 5.
Yes.
Because on turn 5 is
Makes it awkward for Golakka.
it's the power plays for Druid with Cobalt Scalebane and
Yeah.
Living Mana.
Whoa, that's actually so good for the Rogue. I think Rogue is his favorite from this point.
Yeah.
Even drawing pots is a null.
Even drawing patches.
So this turn, do you like just playing Scalebane and passing? Or do
I
you
don't
want to
see
do
anything
something
else.
with Savage? Or?
I don't see anything
Yeah,
else.
I don't see anything else either.
If you burn double Savage, well, guess what? Your stuff dies anyway. Like,
Now you're just,
Just leave it
praying
empty.
you get Roar. Living Mana, sorry.
I think RDU is considering if he wants to suicide the Dire Mold to guarantee that buff, but that is just
No.
not something I would ever do with
Yeah.
double Savage Roar in my hand.
yeah,
That's
you just want
fine.
stuff to live at this point, or at least have an attempt.
Having stuff on board is good.
Nice, lines up pretty well. Kels, I think the SI is pretty straightforward. Fills the curve out, and you get another 2 damage on the board.
How do you trade?
Yes, I'm trying to figure that out. So we
I mean, I think
did
Prince
not-
SI is happening, right? Like, no matter
Yes.
what.
You can, in theory, Leroy, if you put RDU on having absolutely nothing, which from... well, actually, you get him,
Yeah.
give him Whelps, which is pretty good with
Yeah.
Roar, but
I think
I think it's always Kellis SI.
you just isolate the Scalebane, right?
What if we... No... I
Um,
was thinking if we hit with a Tar Creeper, but that's kind of awkward. Like, hit the 4/4.
Yeah. Do you not
Yeah,
do that? Like the one
Yeah,
and the 1/5.
that's what I see now, but do I like that?
It keeps the SI alive, right?
No, it's actually good because you have 2 minions on 1 health,
Yes.
right? So it's
Yeah,
awkward.
exactly.
Yeah, so you just do
You're
that.
against Scalebane, which
Yeah,
great,
it's
trade
good.
into it, awesome. Yeah, this is nice. It's a big push, actually. And,
Rogue has the board now, which
RDU
is
pretty
huge.
much needs living mana at this point.
that is not very good.
That is, in fact, not living mana. Not terrible, though. He can,
Nah, it's fine.
does have hero power to be able to just take down this Tar Creeper, get an additional trade with Scalebane, and we'll have, 4, 5, and a 5/5.
RDU now is probably like super scared. He's like, oh my god, this is over. He just has Bone Mare. But we know that Aka's hand is like not really that great, right?
Yeah.
Especially because he hasn't pushed any damage yet to RDU.
Well, that's I don't know.
I mean, you match him. You still end up with 2 minions on board versus 1, right? Oh, no, sorry, what am I talking about?
It's
4,
still
5.
looking very good for RDU, actually.
I mean, RDU only needs 1 more good draw, I think.
Yeah.
One living mana in this game is...
Oh,
totally
wait,
over.
it's actually a 6/6. Oh, it's a 6/6.
Yeah,
Shouldn't you play that?
not sure. Like, you just...
This does not even
No,
allow him
but,
to dagger, though.
I like this and following this up with Scalebane.
Yeah, this is a...
The Whelp is a dragon, not a beast. Very
Yeah.
relevant here.
You still hit him, right? Do it and hit him.
Yeah.
I want to hold this Marquis Visarage because we have so many beasts in stack, and at this point I just want to maximize the amount of ways
but
to draw living mana, and I don't think that this free is in any universe getting the job done.
The problem there is you're giving
giving
an empty
dagger.
board, right?
I think I like this.
Yeah, but is this free fighting for board?
Yes, it's dealing 6 damage and potentially like extra 4 with the roars.
I still think we need something big. I don't think if we just draw like our average minion
Don't you expect
into
that?
free cards.
Don't you just like he's running out of stuff? Don't you just expect that he just plays a minion here? Like,
Absolutely, but I don't think that these extra free damage, like these extra 6 damage we're getting in, is relevant if you don't draw living mana. I think we just want... I'm playing to the out drawing living mana, and I don't think anything else is saving me at this point.
so he would have buffed it now, but then he would still not have that much time for living mana, I guess. No.
Yeah, he couldn't have living mana.
Well, we're seeing that Chain Gang now. Chain Gang looks great.
I think Chain Gang locks up the game.
Yep, it does. Actually, if he
Especially
chose
'cause-
living mana next turn.
Because even if you look at this, RDU can't really afford to even use a Savage. Well, maybe you can use 1 Savage Draw.
Maybe.
I don't.
Probably.
I think he might
yeah,
have to use a
yeah,
Savage Roll, actually.
You have to kill the Scalebane, I think.
You have to kill it?
With one roar. Take 6. That's fine.
Feels bad, man.
Unless you want to roar and just go face, but that
I was thinking about that.
That relies on you drawing exactly living mana.
Yeah,
Sometimes you have to.
No,
play like
it's
that.
also he's probably thinking that he has Bone Mare, which is very likely from his perspective now. Like,
I think you kill this, you leave a minion on board. Yes, you only have one Savage Roll.
I don't know if he's counting that this card like one is random.
I don't think it's likely at all. We know there's one Druid card that's not Bone Mare, and also that's the card that the AKAWonder drew previous turn, which could be anything that's like 3 mana or more. It doesn't necessarily have to be Bone Mare.
Changang's going to hurt now. Even Valspine as well, although there's nothing next turn to play with it, you've got to imagine almost any card in the deck will come back with Valspine, which just actually even greatly reduces RDU's chance unless he draws exactly living mana.
Good read here as well by AK. He saw that RDU did not play anything else with 2 cards in hand last turn. Knows that the threat here is Savage Roar and did not.
I actually think Aka has played this game very well.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I think even maybe that the turns like we disagreed with when he aside turned out pretty good, right?
They are very debatable, but I am not 100% confident that I'm right on that one.
I think he did the right play.
I like how
I don't know
AK
about
has
keeping Shadow Step seem very weird.
Yeah.
But the utilization of the Shadow Steps.
Yeah, it turned out good though.
And it's looking pretty grim for RDU now. It's pretty rough. I went to just Savage Roar with a 1 minion kills one of the chain gangs. He doesn't even clear off the second one with the hero power and the Savage Roar on the Druid.
Attack, though. Interesting.
Ouch.
I mean, don't you have to?
Yeah, you need to be able to hero power it next turn, right?
Sure.
I think you have to.
And look at this,
Yeah, this
Valspine
is
in the little mole man.
Mole Man.
Yeah.
I like that name. And this just leaves Radu with no
Aka
outs.
takes it. Nice series.
There we go, there's the concede, and AKAWonder is going to be moving on.
Yeah,